I want to be perfectly clear about something, okay? Because at this point, we are now to a place where our people are getting really pissed off because the best way for me to explain this to you is in these simple words. We are the only ones that get to define our protest. Period. If you've never been oppressed in the way that we've been oppressed, if you've never had to fight this fight, if you've never had to walk this walk, I need for you to have several seats, because at the end of the day, you'll never know what this feels like. You'll never know what it feels like to walk into a store and be looked at or be told you need to hurry up and move it along because of what the fuck you look like. You'll never know what that's like. You'll never know what it's like to have, just yesterday, my brother, a tall 6 foot something black man, told me that he went to go to Burger King on his lunch break and ordered a sandwich. And the lady told him that he couldn't have bacon on the sandwich. Burger King is like, your way, right away. That's their slogan, right? But that's okay. So he was like, you know what? Bump that. I'll get the other sandwich that has a bacon on it for an extra $1. No big deal, right? So he orders the sandwich. They're taking however long they're taking to make his sandwich. And the manager comes out to him and tells him, nah, y'all been here too long. Y'all gotta leave. My brother was like, yo, I'm waiting for my food. Like, y'all are taking however long y'all are taking to get me my food. Like, why are you upset about the fact that I'm just standing here? No. You gotta go. You gotta go. My brother was like, I bet you I will stand right here until I get my damn food that I paid for. I bet you that. And then he turned around and told me, I bet you I will eat Burger King every day for the rest of my life if that's what it takes. And you know what? He's not wrong. Okay? He's not wrong. And at the end of the day, you cannot sit here and tell me what the protest should look like. You can't tell me what the rebellion should look like, because see, the thing is, y'all are calling this a riot. And that's the part that's really killing me, right? Because it's not a riot. It's a rebellion. And rebellion is something that we learned from you. We learned how to rebel from America. America is literally a country founded on rebellion. The colonies rebelled against England and became their own freaking country. When else in the history of man did that happen? When? Explain to me that. Everybody else begged, bartered, and stole their own freedom. America rebelled and was like, nah, bump y'all, cut the strings. We don't want it. We're doing our own shit right now. And so explain to me how we as a people that were in fact stolen and brought to this country to live an oppressed and shackled life had to fight for our freedom after the Allies came and said, you know what? No, this isn't fair. We're going to go ahead and let these people be free. Not because they're people. Not because they deserve their freedoms. Not because, black people shouldn't be treated this way, but because it's not fair that the South gets to make all this money off of free labor and we can't do that. So, they got to go. We got to free them. That's the reason why, the only reason why the slaves were freed. But that's an argument for another day. So after the slaves were freed, through rebellion, through the Civil War, rebellion that the South uprose and said, you know what? This is not fair. The United States of America cannot tell us what we're going to do. We're going to rebel. We're going to pull away from the Union. Rebellion. They lost, but they still rebelled. Everybody, over the history of America, if you felt like something was wrong, you rebelled. So why is it now that we, the black people, now that it's our time to rebel, why do we have to be peaceful about it? Why? And the reason why I'm on here, I am so pissed off. Y'all don't even understand. Okay? I am so incredibly pissed off because people that I know are telling me that I have to come to some kind of mindset that, we shouldn't be destructing property or destroying property and all this other kind of stuff, because that it takes the teeth out of our argument and it makes people not want to be on our side anymore. And to those people, I say, fuck you. And I'm going to tell you why. And I mean every bit of that with every fiber of my being. I mean fuck you for real. And I'm going to tell you why. At the end of the day, there is no amount of any physical property. There is no amount of a physical belonging that will ever amount to the countless people that we have made hashtags behind police brutality. There is not a squad car in America that can give us Freddie Gray back. There is not a fucking storefront in America that can give us Sandra Bland back. There is not a personal vehicle in America. There is not a window in America. There is not a Target in America that's going to give me Tamir Rice back. Amadou Diallo, Khalif Browder, Eric Gardner, Michael Brown, Trayvon Martin. None of those people are going to come back. So when I tell you that this is the language of revolution, this is the language of revolution. And now that we're speaking it, it's all kinds of wrong. Now that we the people that were brought to this country to be held in bondage and have been so ever since, are now finally finding the key to undo the shackles that have been around our arms, our necks, and our ankles this entire time. Now that we found the key, we have to be peaceful. Oh, but we tried being peaceful by taking a knee, and y'all had a problem with that too. We tried being peaceful by marching in Selma, but y'all had a problem with that too. We tried being peaceful by delivering unbelievably wonderful speeches on the mall in Washington, D.C. in front of the Lincoln Memorial, but that didn't work either. Now did it? Now did it? Because if it did, back in 1960 something, when Dr. Martin Luther King stood and delivered those beautiful, wonderful words that are quoted every single year by school children across this nation, George Floyd wouldn't be dead. Period. So you can sit here and try and tell me until you're blue in the face that we are wrong, that destruction of property is not the answer, that riot is not the answer, that all this other kind of stuff. You can tell me all of that shit as long as you want to. But I'm going to tell you one thing right now. Every single time you come at me with that argument, I'm going to shut your shit down. I'm going to cuss you the fuck out. And then I'm going to move the hell on with my life. Because at the end of the day, while I do not condone violence against the police, I do not condone violence in any way, shape, or form. Not me, not personally. But here's what you have to understand, okay? Riot is the language of the unheard. Revolution is the action of change. Y si tú no le gusta, vaya. You can leave me alone. I don't care. At the end of the day, this is where we are. This is what it is. And if you want it to stop, I suggest you get your politicians, you get your whoever the hell you need to get to over to Minnesota and put a fucking thumb on those people to tell them to grab up the other three, put the charges on there that make sense, and convict them for what the fuck they did. And that is the only thing that's going to make this stop. So if you want it to stop, put your money where your mouth is and do what you have to do to make sure justice is served. If you're not willing to do that, and if you're not willing to contribute to the conversation without just telling me that this is wrong and that is wrong, without coming with another thing to say, hey, instead let's do this, I can't hear you. I can't. And this is my stance. And if you don't like it, I don't know what the hell to tell you, because this is where we at. This is where we're at. Okay? So, that being said, I'm going to try and have a very peaceful evening. I'm going to try and stay off social media because I am getting so incredibly angry. And I promise you right now that if I didn't have a sensitive 14-year-old at home right now, I'd probably be out in the streets too. I've been out in the streets. I've marched with the Black Lives Matter movement before. I've done all the stuff and I've done all the things. I've written the letters. I've contributed to the cause. I've donated my money. I've given my resources. I've given my time. I went to the meetings. I did all the things I was supposed to do, including talking to all my politicians, including Ted motherfucking Cruz about this shit. So please don't tell me that I'm just sitting here on a soapbox preaching something that I don't necessarily believe in. I've done the work. It's your turn.